Today's video is going to be about the Firebox folding wood stove. My name is Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Okay, welcome back to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for joining me. As I said, today's video is going to be about this cool little stove, the Firebox folding steel stove. Firebox sent this to me to review, and I'd like to thank them for that. We're going to take a look at it and see how well this thing performs, and tell you what I think is so cool about this particular kind of wood stove. I'm actually going to go underneath the shade here. I'm in a state park in a pavilion, so we don't have any fire hazards. We got a picnic grill here. Let me jump the camera over here and we'll get right back to you. Okay, so we're underneath the pavilion here and it's a state park, and I've got a barbecue grill here we're gonna use so that we don't have any kind of fire hazard. So, but I want to show you what kind of a couple things I like about this stove. First of all, it comes. Okay, this is a Cordura pouch. It's extra. This is an accessory you can buy. I think this price on this is about 15 bucks. So we'll get it out of the way. And it's a nice pouch, and we'll take a look at it. But the stove as is comes in this little cloth bag, muslin bag. I don't know what it is, but it actually helps prevent your soot from getting on anything else if you just use this. I'd recommend, if you like this thing, get one of these others, but we'll take a look at that. But anyway, what I like about it is it just folds up. So I'm going to readjust the camera here, show you how easy this thing is to open up and put together, and we'll talk about the specs on it a little bit as we go. And we'll get a fire going in this thing, and we'll see how well it performs. Okay, so this is the 5-inch folding Firebox camp stove in its folded condition. And this is stainless steel, as you can see, so that's good. It weighs about 2 pounds, so this is definitely not an ultralight kind of deal, but it's also very, very sturdy. So I'm going to show you how to assemble this thing. First thing you're going to want to do, it comes, you pull these little pots. These are actually double pot supports, and they also lock it all together. Remove this ash pan Firebox off of here, and it's just got a little friction fit. You pop it off. It's got some little tabs on 4 sides here, if you can see those, that actually help it pop on there. Anyway, it's not important. You open it up, unfold it, and then unfold this out. And then you'll notice there's a hinge here. This is the bottom, so you're going to roll it down and fold the bottom down. So that's your grate, your fire grate, folds down to the bottom, and actually it's got 2 little tabs that lock into these little slots right here. So you can see those move up and down right there, right? Okay, so that's the bottom. Then you're going to want to put your ash pan in. You'll notice this is not square, nor is the shape of the stove square. So that lets you give it only one way to go in. So you got to find the right way. And it's got 2 little grooves here and here to slide it in. So you're going to just slide it in like that and let it sit. So, and it'll move around. It doesn't really lock into place. It slides around, but that's okay. Just get it in place. So that's going to prevent any ashes that fall through the grate from hitting the ground. And then you've got these 2 pot supports. You can either put them, there's slots throughout this thing. You can put them out here, like this. You can put them inside here for narrower, you can use smaller. So this is very versatile. You can use a lot of different size pots and pans. When this thing is finished, it's 5 inches wide, 7.5 inches high, and is capable of supporting a full-size Dutch oven or down to as small as a GSI-like kind of cup. So very versatile. You can cook a lot on it. Okay, so while this is basically designed to be a wood-burning stove, you can also go ahead and you can put wood pellets in here. You can put Esbit tablets. You can put sterno. You can put alcohol burners. There's just so many different variations you could do with this thing. So sterno, you can even use charcoal in it. So it's a very, very versatile stove. But what we're going to do today is we're going to put some wood in it. We're going to see how well it boils some water. Okay, with any, or at least with most wood burning type stoves, you got to use some kind of fire starter. It's just very helpful. So we're going to use today the Mini Inferno from the Pathfinder store, and I'm going to use a half one. We're going to just ruffle this thing up a little bit where it'll catch a ferro rod and put it down inside here. Go ahead and hit it with a spark. So let's do it this way. I'm going to put it on the lid here and hit it with a spark, and then we'll dump it in there. It's a little easier than trying to get down inside here. So move around. Needs to be, and we just put some wood in there. It's a pretty generously sized firebox. I've got a pretty good bit of little wood here. And just as with any kind of fire, you got to start with smaller wood and work your way up to bigger wood. So I've got some smaller wood here, and Mini Inferno is rocking, by the way. And the goal is to get some coals built up, but we're going to go ahead and put this in there. The only challenge with any kind of wood burning stove is once you get the fire going and you get your pot that you're going to use on there, then you got to keep feeding the fire. So this has actually got, the back side will flip up like so to contain the heat, and you're still going to have a little gap here to feed it, or you can let it down on both of them. So it's kind of adjustable. So I'm going to go ahead and get some water now while this is burning, and we'll get this thing going. So I got my another Pathfinder item, believe it or not. It's not a Pathfinder commercial, I promise, but I got my Pathfinder Canteen Shop canteen cup. We're going to put 2 cups of water in here and 16 ounces. Okay, so my fire is dying down quickly. Let me go ahead and get some more wood on it. I did not tend my fire. I was too busy getting water, which is not a good thing. Let's see if we can get it going. Some really good dry wood. I got a pretty good bit of little ashes down there. I mean coals down there, so hopefully we'll have a fire again in just a second. Again, this is just like a fire. You got to tend it and take care of it. But the advantage of using a stove like this over a open fire, of course, is you contain the heat and you get more efficiency out of it because you're containing that heat and directing it all to where you want it instead of out into the atmosphere. So you get some bigger wood in there to kind of create some more coals that'll kind of keep things going. I've got what I believe is some red cedar here, and it's good firewood. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and put the top on. Got a good fire going now, boy. And let me get my timer. So set that out of the way. Go ahead and put the canteen on here. And let her go. See how long let's put the lid on it. Hang on, let me get that back off there. Put the lid on it. Always boils faster with a lid on it. And as you can see, there's enough room around the exterior perimeter to feed some wood in. Just keep feeding it. But you're going to have to do that with any wood stove or fire. But as we get some of these bigger pieces in there, it ought to sustain itself a little better. Okay, so we have a rolling boil now, and it's 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And you can see that it is absolutely boiling. It just stopped, but about 4 minutes. Well, it's hot. There it is. You can see it boiling. 4 minutes. So, pretty cool. Go ahead and take that out. That's with the covered canteen. Probably would take a little longer with it uncovered. Go ahead and let that cool off now. We'll take these off, let them cool off. Okay, so it took about almost 4 minutes for 16 ounces of water to boil, 2 cups of water using the Firebox. Not very much wood, maybe a bundle of wood about this big around and about that long. I mean, a very, very small amount of wood, less than would fit in a shoebox. So very efficient way to cook, way to burn. It didn't take a lot of time. So it was a pretty good way to do it. It weighs 2 pounds, but there's a couple of disadvantages that you're going to always have with a wood stove. You can see we got a hot stove right here right now that we got to let cool off or do something with. And then it's going to be black and sooty, which is why they give you the bag. So we're going to go ahead, in this case, this thing is really hot. We're going to dump this out into the charcoal grill because we can. And I want to let it cool off as quickly as possible. Woo, but it is very, very hot through the cloth. I burnt my fingers. It hurt. But okay, so anyway, that's the negative, one of the negatives of a wood burning stove. But that's any stove, it doesn't matter what kind it is. If it's a wood burning stove, you just built a fire in the thing for Pete's sake, you know, so just be aware of that. There's pros and cons to every type of stove. Okay, it's cooled off now. I'm going to show you how easily this thing goes back together. First, just pop off the pot rack there. Slide out your ash pan and just dump it out. I would take the stove itself, just dump it out, okay? And all you want to do is you're going to push up on the bottom, and just like that. So one more time, you're going to push up on the bottom, fold it like this. It's really only going to go one way, so then you fold this over like that. You can fold that up or leave it, it doesn't matter, it's going to flop around. Put your ash pan, snap it in on the side here again. Take your 2 pot supports and slide them down into the little provided notches. One there, and one there. Okay, about 3/8 of an inch thick, that's all it is. Put it back in the white bag. And then put it back in your pouch and you're good to go. Probably gonna need to wash your hands afterwards, but it's part of the ball game. Again, so the benefits to this stove, in my opinion, are A, you don't have to carry fuel. You can find some wood and start a fire. You can cook, period. You can also use this as like a mini campfire, which is kind of cool. It actually obviously gets very hot. The stainless steel is going to radiate some heat. So, and it's a very contained fire, so it's a lot safer than building a fire out there. And it uses a lot less wood. So if you need to cook, you don't have to build a great big fire just to boil some water, just cook some food. You can cook not just water, you can use this thing with a frying pan or whatever. You know, and as you get good with it, start regulating the airflow and regulating your coals and whatnot, then you could probably adjust your temperature just like any fire. And there's an art to cooking over fire, and it takes practice. My finger's burnt. Sorry. So the biggest positive is you don't have to carry fuel, and it's very, very versatile. You can use this stove for a lot of things. Use it for alcohol, for different fuel tablets and things like that. Obviously, the disadvantage is it is a fire. Some places don't allow open fires, and this is considered an open fire in a lot of cases. It gets really hot. You got to let it cool down. It takes a few minutes to build a fire, but as you saw, it didn't take that long. I mean, it was maybe the prep time to get the wood, which was pretty. It took me 5 minutes to gather up those sticks, literally, and another, maybe to build the fire took another couple of minutes. So altogether, you got less than 10 minutes and the water's boiled. Not quite as fast as a canister stove, but still pretty daggone good. It's dirty. It's going to get stuff black and sooty, but they give you this bag here, which will protect all your other stuff, and that's just the nature of it. You're carrying around something just been in the fire. Another thing is you got to be aware of, anytime you cook with fire, your shiny, pretty stainless steel cooking stuff is going to turn black, which is fine with me because it actually makes it heat a little more efficiently if it is black, believe it or not. So, but that is the Firebox 5-inch folding campfire stove with an actual practical use test. I like the fact that the thing folds up. Some of these stoves are different, or they're just different pieces. And you got to remember to put them together like a puzzle. They've all got their pros and cons. This particular one does just fold completely up, so it's really, really not a steep learning curve on putting it together. You just basically unfold it and pop the bottom in and you're good to go. A little bit heavier, 2 pounds, so it's not a backpacking, but they actually have a lighter version. They even have a titanium version, so a lot of options here from Firebox. The other thing I would recommend if you're going to get one of these is to go ahead and spend the 15 bucks and get the heavy duty Cordura pouch. It's got a little sleeve in it because there are other accessories that are available, different kinds of grates and grills and stuff. And you put the stove in here to keep the dirt off of everything else, and you put it all in here to kind of protect it and keep it in one neat little package. So pretty neat deal. Altogether, the stove is around $60 and the pouch is like 15, so about 75 bucks for the whole setup. Again, they have a smaller one. This is the full size, and stainless steel, so it's going to last essentially forever, which is another good thing. There's no moving parts, no jets or anything like a gas stove may or may not last as long. This is just some stainless steel that you build a fire in. So I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking for a really good little self-contained wood-fired stove, then you might want to check out the 5-inch folding Firebox campfire stove. And if you're looking for a little lighter version, check out their titanium version. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up down below. Even if your thumb's dirty, let Google know you like outdoor videos. Please share this with your friends if you think they'll like it. And if you want to support this channel, you can check out the Amazon links below. That'd be really cool. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.